I used to just do as much volume as I possibly could because I believed more volume, more sets equal to more gains, that doing more would give me more results. But that was just completely wrong. And I did that for a while, made okayish gains, and it was not too bad, but it could have been a lot better. And like weirdly, when I started actually doing a lot less, when I started doing what I'm doing right now, doing 2 sets per exercises, doing around 8 to 12 sets per session, but really focusing on the quality of every single set that I perform, really making each set count, making every set, every rep as effective as I can make it. That's when I started making more gains. So I learned that quality, at least for me, is a lot more important than quantity when it comes to building muscle. That's that's what I noticed. Really focusing on making every set as valuable as possible is what really got me the gains. Because when I was doing like 5 sets per exercise, and I was doing like 5 exercises per session, so 25 sets per session, around like 25 to 30 sets per session, bro, I wasn't making any gains. And even when I reduced it a little bit to 3 sets per session, I wasn't really making gains. And I think I could have, right now, I could make it work. I could make 3 sets per exercise work. I could make like 20, 15 to 20 sets per session work, or even 12 to 15, because of now I'm really become good and skilled at making every set count, making every set valuable. I'll just decrease the intensity and increase the volume, but just understand, especially as a beginner, I would like you to really understand the concept of really mastering the components of quality when it comes to your training. So the 2 main things are just form, your training technique, form, and intensity. Making sure you really train close to failure, and that you also just perform the exercises with as good as of a form that you can as you can, and really going like through slow eccentric, athletic concentric, deep range of motion, full range of motion, deep stretch. Those are the things you should focus on, and they should always be the priority. And the second thing that isn't a priority, it isn't like focus on your form, and then the intensity should come in. Never train for like never put intensity before uh before technique, before form. I don't know why I just did that for intensity. um, Never put intensity before form, before technique. Technique should always come first. So it doesn't matter how hard the last few reps get. Still make sure your form is just amazing. Make sure your form is as close to being perfect as possible. And the only thing that should change is just the speed of the concentric. Because of course when it gets super difficult, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to pull like the weight up. But outside of that, your technique should pretty much look identical. Pretty much look identical to on the first rep. The first rep and the last rep should be identical. The only difference should be the speed of the concentric. So yeah, very important to learn intensity and technique. Very, very important to really focus on like your intensity. Really make sure you learn how to train to failure, and really make sure you learn how to perform each exercise with very good form. And even if you don't plan to do this forever, something that I did for a while that really helped me to really learn intensity and really learn technique is I just did 1 set per exercise for a while. Right now I'm doing 2 sets per exercises. But I just did 1 set per exercise for a while. And I just focused on taking every single set to failure. So I was doing like 5 sets per session, 4 sets per session, 6 sets per session, but not more than 6. But I was really making sure that I took every set that I did, every set that I performed, I took it to failure. And I really focused on using good form on every exercise that I did. So reducing your volume, like drastically reducing it for a while, going to 1 set per exercise, just for like a month, just like 2 weeks. I think it can probably help you a lot with your training intensity and just the quality of the sets you perform overall. Because for a lot of people, especially beginners, because you have more volume, because you're doing like 5 sets per exercises, 4 sets per exercises, there's more room for you to make mistakes. So when the first set gets a little bit difficult, you're not even close to failure. You just drop the weight because you know you have another 4 sets to kind of correct your mistake, like correct your mistake, even though you just jump volume then, because you have more volume, because you do more volume, more sets. You feel like you have more room for mistakes. You have more room for you have if you're often more lenient on yourself. So when I said it gets difficult, when you just know you just have one set for one exercise, trust me, you take it a lot more seriously. You take it a lot more seriously, and you think to yourself, okay, fuck, I gotta make the most out of this set. So that's why it can be super, super, super effective, super valuable. To just for like 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, just try to drastically reduce the amount of sets you're doing. Even consider going to 1 set per exercise. But just do it to really learn intensity, what true intensity is. So yeah, that's all I had to say. If you're interested in my fitness coaching, my one-to-one fitness coaching, then click the first link in the description. Don't worry from discomfort. Chase it.